Akim Olufemi Gbajabiamila. God bless you all.
We reject this budget. This budget cannot work.
House rejects budget for the Office of the Auditor General and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Budget of information ministries in some states in Nigeria are far more than what the whole country is proposing to.
And lawmakers decry what they call poor budgetary allocation to the Ministry of Information. Welcome to this week's edition of House Tickets, a program which highlights legislative activities in the Green Chamber of the National Assembly. I am Dihelia Mamza, your anchor. The Committee on Foreign Affairs had issues to settle with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, which saw it taking a stand not to look at the ministry's budget. From the Committee on Housing and Habitat, the Minister of Works and Housing assured members that even though the 2022 budget implementation started in June, it has hopes of fully executing the budget. The INEC chairman, Director General of the National Health Insurance Authority, and the Minister of Information were also amongst dignitaries who led their teams before the various committees of the House for budget defense last week. Details of this and more as we take reports of the 2023 budget defense exercise currently ongoing in the House of Representatives, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Please stay with us.
The entire purpose of the legislative agenda is to direct our legislative resources and efforts in a coordinated effort to ensure the well-being of the individual in a life of safety and freedom. That is a high ambition, but it's well worth the effort. We have passed landmark legislation to fix our oil and gas industry, reform the police, and reorganize the corporate administration system in our country. We have considered and passed meaningful legislation that impacts all areas of our national life.
Thanks for staying tuned. We'll begin with a report on the budget defense sitting of the House Committee on Foreign Affairs. The committee, which sat on Wednesday, November 2nd, 2022, resolved not to consider the 2023 budget of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs until it complies fully with the 2022 Appropriation Act. The chairman of the committee, Representative Yusuf Yakub, who made the position of the committee known while giving his remarks at the sitting, speaks further on the matter.
That it will not consider the present 2023 appropriation proposal of the ministry until it does the following. 1. Direct all missions to abide by Section 10 of the 2022 Appropriation Act as amended. 2. Furnish the National Assembly with the 2023 budget proposals in respect to targeted revenues from administrative charges at the missions and embassies. C. Furnish the committee with the list of unspent funds under the capital component of the missions allocations for the necessary waivers of the National Assembly.
The chairman pointed out areas where the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Geoffrey Onyema, violated the 2022 Appropriation Act, expressing the committee's displeasure over such actions.
The question this committee is asking the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs is he bigger than Nigeria, its laws? Or how else will one explain the constant flagrant abuse of the laws of the land, even when we have continued to write letters to the ministry, reminding it of relevant provisions of our laws that demand abiding by?
While responding to the allegations, the minister said that he had at no time issued directives that disregard provisions of the National Assembly or violate the dictates of the Appropriation Act.
As regards the Appropriation Act that you mentioned, we have circulated, sent out notices to all the missions as to how to set up the tenders board and to carry out their tenders themselves. We felt, however, that it was appropriate for at least the ministry to give some guidance to them as to how to proceed in doing so. And we have seen the challenges that they are facing now because of that. Because a number of the ambassadors in a number of missions are being summoned by EFCC to come and explain a number of expenses that they have incurred. And I think this is partly because they are not fully aware of how to proceed. But in any case, we have given the directives, I've signed off on it, that they can set up, as you said, Mr. President has assented to it. So we have no problems. We're not flouting it in any way. And I have certainly never sent or signed anything to any mission to tell them to disregard those requirements.
The minister noted that he had already developed a template aimed at ensuring accountability of unspent funds in the ministry and offered to provide evidence to prove his position on the issues raised. Away from the Committee on Foreign Affairs to the Committee of Housing and Habitat, which met with the Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola. For details of their engagement and other stories, let's take this next report as compiled and presented from our studio. Stay tuned.
On Monday, the 31st of October 2022, the Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola, appeared before the House Committee on Housing and Habitat to present the implementation of the 2022 budget and defend the 2023 budget proposal for the ministry. Chairman of the committee, Representative Mustapha Baladawaki, while giving his opening remarks at the budget hearing, speaks on the expectations of the 2023 budget.
Just as you know, this is the last budget that will be presented by the Minister of Works and Housing in this administration, because we are getting to the end of the transition, because the election will be coming up in 2023, February. So we are hoping that during our next budget will be the next new government.
While presenting an overview of the 2022 budget implementation, the minister noted that even though we are in the 10th month of the year, in practical terms, the ministry is in the 5th fiscal month of the fiscal year, as the implementation of the budget did not commence until the 1st of June as directed and extended by the Parliament. He added that the ministry has not relented in its commitment to fully execute the budget.
We have not relented in our commitment to the execution of the budget. The 2022 appropriation for the ministry and her parastatals was 515.9 billion. The ministry received a total capital allocation of 441.1 billion, and because there are two sectors, works and housing, we then have to do internal application in the budget proposals and the appropriation that was finally approved.
He highlighted some of the challenges faced by the ministry.
Of course, we have been challenged by so many things. COVID, the effects are still rippling.
In defending the 2023 budget, the minister complained about the significant reduction in the ministry's budget.
Our budget for 2023, our envelope has been significantly reduced. There are outstanding liabilities, and we must find a way to provision for outstanding liabilities arising from yesterday and today's commitment, because they will accrue tomorrow, and we must find a way to provide for them.
We allow the minister to take a bow and go.
Correct.
In another committee room, the The House Committee on Electoral Matters had before it the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, for the presentation of the Commission's 2022 budget performance and 2023 budget proposal. This was on Tuesday, the 1st of November 2022. Giving her opening remarks at the budget sitting, the chairman of the committee, Representative Aisha Tuduku, said that it is only through budget that INEC can be able to discharge its mandate of conducting credible elections in Nigeria.
The budget proposal for the year is no different from previous years, and it is important for us to approach it from both process and content perspective to represent a true picture of the Fiscal Responsibility Act.
The INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, while speaking on the Commission's budget performance for 2022, said the performance so far is at 80.88%. He added that it has been difficult managing the Commission's actual needs, especially in the area of overhead electoral expenditure and capital expenditure.
The number of by-elections we are required to conduct, which are so unpredictable, the number of off-cycle governorship elections, they are known, but the parameters keep changing. And then the number of registered voters, which is the basis for planning, also changes. Whatever we do is on the basis of the number of registered voters.
Speaking on the 2023 budget proposal, the INEC chairman said there is a slight improvement from that of 2022 envelope budget of 40 billion naira to 50 billion naira for the 2023 proposal. He gave highlight of the budget breakdown.
We have broken it down into 4 components as always. The first one is personnel cost, and under personnel, we are proposing the sum of 26.5 million. For the consolidated salary is 21, up from 19 for career officers and 50 political office holders.
Auntie Mrs. Javia.
Still on Tuesday, November the 1st, 2022, the Minister of Information, Culture and Tourism, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, appeared before the House Committee on Information to present an overview of his ministry's budget performance for 2022 and defend its budget proposal for 2023. Speaking before the minister's presentation, the chairman of the committee, Representative Odebumi Dokun, said inadequate financial allocation to the Federal Ministry of Information, which is seriously hampering its performance, requires urgent improvement.
The lack of enough financial allocation that is seriously hampering their performances still require improvement. As a matter of fact, budget of information ministries in some states in Nigeria are far more than what the whole country is proposing to the Federal Ministry of Information.
While defending the budget, the minister lamented the reduction of budgetary allocation to the ministry in 2023.
In 2022, the National Assembly approved 2.5 billion naira for this ministry as capital. That is for both information and culture, of which 1 billion of it belonged to information. Your Excellency, this year, the capital provision for the entire Ministry of Information and Culture is 869 million, of which only 345 is for information and culture. Sorry, only the 345 is only for the information arm. Honorable Chairman and the honorable members, I fully understand the economic challenges the country is facing, but I don't agree that the Ministry of Information and Culture at this critical time should have less. Actually, we should have more.
He added that the ministry needs minimum of 10 times of its current budgetary allocation for 2023.
Your request is taken, and we will take it up with the right appropriate quota. Thank you very much.
The program is House Tickets, and this episode captures highlights from the 2023 budget defense exercise by various committees and the MDA's the oversight. So far, we have seen the appearance of Professor Mahmoud Yakubu before the INEC committee, and we have heard the Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola, assuring lawmakers that the 2022 budget for the Ministry of Works and Housing will see full implementation. Coming up in our next reports, more budget defense sessions from the Committees on Public Accounts, Health Services, as well as Science and Technology. How are institutions under the purview of these committees faring with the implementation of the 2022 budget? And what are the proposals for 2023? Keep watching for details.
On Tuesday, November 1st, 2022, the House Committee on Public Accounts rejected the budget of the Office of the Auditor General of the Federation. The chairman of the committee, Representative Wole Oke, who made this position known when the Auditor General of the Federation, Mr. Ogochukwu Onwudili, appeared before the committee, said that the committee has noticed a concerted effort to undermine the Office of the Auditor General.
We have seen the determination of the lieutenants of Mr. President, particularly the Minister for Finance, the DG Budget Office, to undermine Mr. President in his determination to wage war against corruption in the land. Otherwise, why would you allocate several billions to auxiliary institutions, and you are giving 62 million naira to the Office of Auditor General of the Federation to fund capital? A constitutional office. They have to go cap in hand to beg for workers. They are understaffed, they are undermined. They cannot conduct performance audits.
He added that the 2023 budget, as it is captured, is a clear indication of how the Office of the Auditor General is being undermined.
We reject this budget. This budget cannot work. The Minister for Finance, the DG Budget, the Accountant General of the Federation, the three of them should cause appearance for this committee to come and tell Nigerians why they are undermining the Office of the Auditor General of the Federation.
Meanwhile, before the 2023 budget of the office was rejected, the Auditor General of the Federation gave highlights of the office's budget performance for 2022.
The sum of 2,492,623,272.91 kobo only was appropriated for personnel costs in 2022 Appropriation Act, while its releases are administered through the Integrated Personnel and Payroll Information System, IPIS. As at October 2022, the sum of 1,795,482,659.47 kobo only was also released, was utilized for the personnel payment of salaries for the month of January to September 2022.
In another committee room, the Director General of the National Health Insurance Authority, NHIA, Professor Nasir Sambo, appeared before the House Committee on Health Services to present the 2022 budget performance of the authority. Following questions raised by lawmakers after his presentation, Professor Sambo speaks on the budgetary peculiarities of the NHIA.
What was appropriated to us in 2022 capital is 641 million for the various activities, maternal and child health and other activities, out of which we have received 161 million naira so far. We are still expecting and as we receive, we disburse them to where they are appropriate. Then if you come to page 1, these are monies that is collected as premium. It comes to the National Health Insurance, where from it we pay the healthcare facilities, we pay admin charge to the health maintenance organization, and NHIA take admin charges from that amount as prescribed in any social health insurance globally. It is that percentage that we take that we will pay salary, that we will maintain offices, that we will maintain ICT infrastructure, and we do any other things that will help us in managing the organization.
And since we're trying to get
the chairman of the committee, Representative Tanko Sununu, urged the Director General that next time the authority is making a presentation, it should be self-explanatory.
If you consider everybody to be a financial guru and make a presentation that cannot be self-explanatory, all this will arise. So please, next time, see how you can break them into an easily accommodated and to ease perception and understanding of everything.
Ladies and gentlemen,
on the same day, the House Committee on Science and Technology had before it the Director General of Sheda Science and Technology Complex, SHEDSCO, Wali Abuja, Professor Paul Onyenekwe. In her opening remarks of the committee sitting, the chairman of the committee, Representative Benny La, said the 2023 budget focuses essentially on improving research capacity base, robust collaborations between SHEDSCO and industries, commercializing scientific research findings, thereby generating massive wealth for the nation and the citizens.
SHEDSCO can significantly contribute to job creation for this nation in science and technology. SHEDA Science and Technology Complex is the National Coordination Center for all advanced academic research and specialized research in physics, chemistry, microbiology, among other researches, and is saddled with the onerous task of driving the growth of scientific knowledge in the nation that ought to ultimately transform our science, technology, and innovation sector.
She called on security operatives to do more to secure Sheda village.
Now, this year, we were hampered from going on oversight due to insecurity because SHEDSCO has been attacked by bandits. Am I right? I mean, Sheda complex. Sheda village. The village has been attacked by bandits. And so members of this committee could not conduct oversight. I'm calling on security forces to do more to keep Sheda secure so that members can conduct oversight, and anybody who wishes to freely go to that Sheda village or anywhere near Sheda where government has invested so much in building this science and technology intact. The lives of our staff, such as yourself, is also very important to us.
The Director General, Professor Onyenekwe, gave highlight of the 2023 budget proposal.
The summary of our 2023 budget proposal. The capital for 2023 is 1,27,651,202 naira.
This is hoping that we've educated you on what our representatives in the 9th House are up to as regards the 2023 budget defense exercise. Thanks for sharing your time with us on the program. You can watch House Ticket as well on our social media handles showing on your screen to catch up on our previous program. Let's meet again next time. Bye for now.